Hello, everyone. My name is Hogan Carmichael, and today is the start of my podcast journey. Um, Unfortunately, for me, I did not actually want to start my podcast journey, but due to some unforeseen circumstances, I've had to start it. So here we are. My name has not yet, I've not come up with my name yet, but I'm pretty sure it'll be something creative and fun. And how my formatting is going to look is every single week I'm going to have a new topic to talk about. I'm going to talk about it for around 18 minutes a week, right? So, this is also your daily reminder to never draft Tyreek Hill #1 overall in fantasy football. Trust me. Okay, now into it. Today, our topic is why women are oppressed in modern society. Simple. I can talk about this for hours. I wish it was longer than 18 minutes. Anyways, first one we're going to talk about is the patriarchal system. Many societies, they still operate under a system where men hold more power and societal privileges, leading to integrated beliefs that devalue women's contributions and perspectives. One of the things I see commonly in America is we have no women in power. Like, there's not a lot of girl bosses, not a lot of CEOs. We've never had a woman president. Matter of fact, Donald Trump upsetting Hillary Clinton in 2016, that was like the biggest upset of all time. Like, you can talk about Miracle on Ice, UMBC beating Virginia, Eagles beating the Patriots, right? But Trump beating Hillary, that might be the biggest upset of all time. And it's because America hates women. America does not want to see women in a position of power. That's why Trump won that year. That's the only logical reason I can think of, right? And then also, like, if you look at like the richest woman in America, I think, is Jeff Bezos' ex-wife. And she got that money by divorcing Jeff Bezos. Like, so it's just unfair how, like, we just will not let women succeed and put them on a higher pedestal than they are. Instead of always trying to put them below men, we need to put them above men. And talking about Jeff Bezos' wife being the richest woman, right? That actually is a perfect segue into my next subject, which is the wage gap, the gender wage gap. I know it's real. You know it's real. America knows it's real. Women often earn significantly less than men for the same amount of work, contributing to economic inequality and dependence, right? I don't want to hear none of that. No. Women make less for doing the same job as men. And it sucks. It sucks. It's the worst. And honestly, I don't really know, like, what else to say. Because, like, if I had a man and a woman, and I want you to cut my lawn, I'm going to pay you both $20. Like, you're going to get $20 to cut my lawn. I just don't know, like, why the however many million people live in America, like, why can't all of our brains spin that way? And just be like, yo, let's just pay women to do the same job as men. And it'll just be like, we'll have more girl bosses, which means more guys can just stay at home and just play fantasy football all day and watch Jared Brees make super teams and ruin your freaking year. And yeah, I mean, also though, like, when it comes to the gender wage gap too, I feel like just because society hires men at a higher rate than women too, that this also puts them in a lot of areas where they can't work as many jobs as men. That there's not that they don't have the same job opportunities as men do. And this, I think, also adds on top of the gender wage gap problem. Our next one is the lack of representation. I briefly touched on this. But when it comes to the lack of representation, I mean, again, like let's think about the most influential women. Who do you even think of? Like, now, I'm on the women's side here. I'm not trying to be mean saying that, but, like, who do you think of? Caitlin Clark? Caitlin Clark's up there. I'd say Kamala, but she just got boat raced in the election. Nancy Pelosi. I don't know. Like, we need more women figures. More, like, when I have a daughter, who is she going to look up to? I don't want to look up to LeBron. I want to look up to a strong woman who's doing good stuff on her own. So yeah, I don't know. Oops, camera malfunction. Yeah, so I don't know. That's just, it's mind-boggling to me. It's just mind-boggling to me, right? And then also, when it comes to, like, the kind of whole representation and, like, role models and all this stuff, is like, there's just an underrepresentation of women in leadership positions. Like, where are the girl bosses? Like, other than, like, okay, like think about it. There's been such a lack of women in society that they've had to turn to OnlyFans and like the Bop House and TikTok. Of like, that's how they have to try and make their money. And that's how they're trying to represent themselves. Because in society, we oppress women and we do not want them to grow and be bigger than men, which I think is annoying. I think everyone thinks it's annoying. Yeah, I'd say. And then my next one I want to top in is, I just think it's gender stereotypes. Like we're still stereotyping 2025, which is unreal to me. That societal stereotypes about women being weaker, more emotional, primarily responsible for domestic work, limit their opportunities in professional and leadership roles. Which, I mean, it's crazy to me because, like, everyone wants to talk about how women are weaker and stuff. If you put, I don't know, I'm just saying it right in front. If you put Jared Breeze in Division III girls basketball, they would have a field day with him. They would mop the floor with him. But because he's a man, I guarantee you so many people of you are just sitting around thinking, oh, yeah, like, he's a man, so he would hold his own. No, he wouldn't. They would cook him 21-0. A Division III girls basketball player would give him buckets beyond belief. And that's not hating my boy Jared. But I'm saying, bro. I mean, it's just, and then, like, about women being, like, weaker, too. Like, Serena Williams, beast, stud, baller. Caitlin Clark, literally is changing around the WNBA. She's not weak. She's not emotional. Well, she's emotional when she be hitting those threes and be flexing on them hoes. But, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's just so crazy to me how we're in 2025 and we're still having this same exact argument. And I have to go on a fucking podcast and talk about it. Anyway, yeah. And then I think, oh my gosh, do not even get me started. Do not even get me started on this one. This one is going to have this one's going to get me going. Whew, boy. This one's going to grind my gears. Reproductive right and restrictions. Abortion. I mean, we're letting men decide what women can do with their bodies? Like, I mean, like, women, you feel me? Like, we're letting the Supreme Court decide, like, it goes to the states. Like, we're really denying women access to birth control and abortions. Like, I think that is, like, I should have ended with this point. Because if this is, like, the umbrella, this is, like, it's like the pole. It's like the main. It's like, this is what you hold on to when you're, like, talking about women getting suppressed in America. Because, like, I don't know. I know I've been saying it over and over again. It's insane that in 2025, we're still even having this argument about abortion. Obviously, we should not be celebrating if they get an abortion. But if they have to get one for whatever reason, we shouldn't deny them. Obviously, like, if they're going to get it when the baby's got to be born, okay, that's a different story. But if they're going to get one when they're still young and just like a clump of cells, like, why not? Like, come on, why not? Anyway, I mean, I'm gonna have to spin back to this one. I mean, like, the reason I've been kind of stuttered and, like, kind of stuck up and, like, can't really been, like, talking about this one like this is, it's just kind of because there's so much going through my mind. I can't regurgitate it. I can't, like, just get it out. I don't know. I don't really know. So yeah, that's annoying. Really annoying. But yeah, and then, I mean, let's also talk about this. Like, women have periods, men don't. And they have to put up with all that. And then they have to pay for the products to help them not bleed everywhere. I mean, as society, like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing, man? Like, it's insane how we can just sit around and just keep letting this happen to around half of our country. Like, it's not like that they're the minority. Like, this is half of the United States population we're talking about. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm with you, ladies. Like, I just can't get around it, right? I'm gonna spin back to this because I just need time to just regurgitate all my thoughts. Like, there's a lot flowing up in this brain right now. My next my next topic is what I'm going to be touching on is unpaid care work. Women often disproportionately shoulder the burden of unpaid domestic labor, impacting their ability to participate fully in the workforce, right? And I'm not really sure what this means. I'm not really sure what this means, but I think it kind of taps on to just like women. Sometimes they gotta sit around and they gotta cook, they gotta clean, they gotta do all that stuff, and because they have to do all that for long periods of time, it hinders their ability to go out and get a real job and really actually provide for the families. They provide for the families in a different way, but sometimes they wanna go make that bread. Sometimes they wanna go make that bread, not paper, but they can't because they gotta cook, they gotta clean, they gotta take care of the kids, you gotta drop them off, gotta pick them up at school. I drive them to soccer practice, band practice, I don't know. And then, yeah. And then, a lot of things, what I've seen personally in my life, what mind-boggling me is discriminatory hiring practices, where there has been times when women, they've been either more qualified or equally qualified, but they give them promotion to the man. Because why? Because of what hangs between their legs and what they don't have hanging between their legs. That's the reason why. So, yeah, I mean, that's crazy to me. And then there's the social pressure to confirm gender norms. This is, women may feel pressure to prioritize their appearance. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness gracious. Another one too. Can we talk about how, like, women, just like the beauty standards are put on them? Like nowadays, like it's different. Like back then, like when our moms were growing up and stuff, because they didn't have social media. Like they didn't know like what was hot, what was not. Like they just compared themselves to the girls at school. And when you do that, obviously like there's still gonna be that comparison. Like, dang, I'm not as pretty as her. Dang, I'm not, I don't look as good as her. Dang, she got nicer clothes. She got all that. But that's different when it's just in your town, right? Compared to now, today, it's on a global stage. It's on a global stage. That now you're scrolling through Instagram and you're like, dang, she's hot. Dang, she looks good. She looks better than me. And then you have this thing that, oh my gosh, like, look at all these girls with thousands and thousands of followers. All these dudes are hitting them up. Like, this is what I have to look like. Like, this is what I have to do to feel pretty. But instead of them just finding the beauty in themselves. And that's what I think. That's what I think is how women are getting suppressed the most today in society, is because they just can't really, like, be themselves, They just can't really, like, because they always just have this, like, expectation. Like, they now have to see Instagram and see all these girls with fake bodies and plastic surgery, all this and all that, who look completely different from, like, you're, like, talking, like, 15, 16, 17-year-old girls to, like, comparing them to, like, 27, 28-year-old girls who, like, when they were, like, teenagers, they look nothing like they do now, but they just had so much work done. Like, they just got so much work done that they just, like, they don't even know who they are. Like, they're different people from then, and it's just so hard just for girls to follow and adapt and maintain that it's sad. Like, I don't want my daughter growing up with all these unrealistic pressures and stuff. Like, it's sad. It's sad to me, right? And then, a lot of it, too, is I feel like we joke about this a lot, right? I'm guilty. I'm guilty, right? I'm not standing up here saying I've been sitting on the stand defending for women's rights my whole life, but I feel like that there's been a lot of jokes made about women's rights. There's been a lot of kind of, that has been kind of like, oh, like women like that. I mean, no. Like we gotta chill on all that, because women, they really do. There really is like there really is kind of less. How do I just like explain it? Women really do. They really do just get less than men in society, and it sucks. Here's one. Men can go on walks at night. Can women do that? I mean, they can, but they don't feel safe doing that, right? Like, I think that is my dream. MLK had his dream. That's my dream. I hope one day, no matter your gender, no matter your sex or your gender, man or woman, you can walk outside and you can walk to the store, walk to the bar, walk to a friend's house, and you can feel safe. That's my dream. That's my dream. And, yeah, I just hope that, I just hope that I hope that this just reaches the right audience and everyone kind of understands where I'm coming from, and they kind of pick up on kind of pick up where I'm coming from, right? And then most importantly, I just want to give a huge shout out to my moms. Shout out moms. I mean, like, you're the one who's kind of really made me like, made me like really kind of just be like, yeah, like, I've seen you, like, you're a working woman, like, you've done a lot of good things in this world. Like, she played college basketball, she works a full-time job, and I think that she's a great I think she'd be a great example just for kind of any young woman to look up to, because if you look at her, she went to college, she got a degree, she went to law school, she has 2 degrees, right? She works a full-time job, and she raised me and my brother. So, like, if you say, like, oh, like, they have to stay at home to raise the kids and cook and clean, like, no, they don't. Like, they don't. Like, my mom was working, and she raised us well. Like, we are two very, for the most part, we're very well-raised young men, and, yeah, I see, like, making this video, I think, helps prove that. And, yeah. Another reason why I think women are slightly suppressed in modern society is, I don't know. I'm running out of ideas here, but I just really hope that, people kind of understand. And, I'm excited, as like this podcast episode is kind of winding down, I'm really excited that, people are, kind of tuned in, and people are wanting to hear about this topic, because again, it's not talked about enough in society. Like, we should be teaching this. No, we shouldn't. I'm gonna stop it. We should be talking about this more. This should be like an open conversation, like, willing to have. That's what I was trying to say. I kind of went down a little tangent. I got a little radical, so I reeled myself in. And yeah, I'm excited to go down this journey with all you guys. There's gonna be, I think I decided I'm gonna post weekly 18-minute videos on the pod. So I really appreciate all you guys for tuning in. Again, I couldn't done it without y'all. I'm super happy to be here. And again, hey, everyone, this is for real. All jokes aside, everyone who's watching this, call your mom, call your grandma, call your sister, call your girl best friend, call your girlfriend. Tell them you love them. Tell them you appreciate them. Appreciate everything they do. And yeah, never draft Tyreek Hill #1 overall in fantasy football, guys. I mean it. And yeah, I hope everyone has a good Saturday night. I'm making this on Saturday. You'll probably see this on Saturday night, maybe on Sunday. I don't know. I got to figure out how the posting works. But yeah, peace.